Hey guys, Kilix here, the #1 Virgin Collector in North America. I'm also a multi-rank 1 Holy Paladin in Arena and Blitz, and today I'm bringing you the War Within Season 3 Complete Gearing Guide for PvP. Now, this setup works for every single bracket, whether you're playing solo shuffles, 3v3 arenas, or Blitz, or even 2v2s. If you're looking for a full in-depth Holy Paladin gameplay guide or talent guide, check out the description down below. I've got separate videos breaking down every single talent, every single hero class, and even advanced tips for PvP that you can use to improve. Make sure to join my collector's Discord for updated talent imports. I also keep these updated weekly, so you'll always have the best possible builds for Herald of the Sun. And if you want to see me live, catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/KilligateTV. With the 0.5 patch dropping and conquest becoming a cap, now is the perfect time to perfectly optimize your gear. In this guide, I'm going to break down every single aspect of Holy Paladin PvP gearing, from honor gear to conquest, bloody coin, embellishments, trinkets, tier sets, and the best pieces to target first. You could walk into arena fully optimized and ahead of the curve. Keep in mind this guide is centered around Herald of the Sun, which I recommend for 99% of Holy Paladins right now. Unless you're already a multi-rank 1 or a gladiator tier player, I guarantee you'll see rating improvements if you make this swap. Make sure you use the timestamps below to jump to any section that you want, but if you're a newer Holy Paladin, I recommend watching the entire video so you don't miss out on anything. For any form of PvP content in the War Within, our stat priority as Holy Paladin, specifically Herald of the Sun, is always the same, and this exact gearing setup also works if you're running Lightsmith. Now, here's the priority. It's mastery, versatility, into critical strike, into haste. The main rule to follow is simple. We want high mastery and low versatility on every single piece of gear possible, and any pieces of gear that can only have mastery, that's what we want. Mastery is by far our most impactful stat in PvP. It scales our healing output consistently, and it also has insane value when paired with Herald of the Sun abilities, as a drastic majority of our healing is only 2, sometimes 3 abilities. Versatility is still important for survivability, but we intentionally keep it low to maximize our throughput via mastery. Crit comes in next for extra healing spikes, and haste is always last since it is the least impactful on our current playstyle, and it does not guarantee effective flat out healing. Whenever you're looking at conquest pieces, crafted gear, bloody coin, or even honor upgrades, your guiding principle is very simple. You maximize mastery while minimizing versatility. That is the backbone of Holy Paladin gear this season. When it comes to our tier set for Lightsmith specifically, you are actually not playing any tier this season. You're playing 0 piece, right? So you're going to be crafting every single slot or using the respective slot of the vendor gear. Make sure it has mastery and versatility on it. As far as for Herald of the Sun, we're only running 2-piece bonus this season. The pieces you want are going to be helmet, legs. Both of these has really high mastery, which makes them the best in slot options for min-maxing stats. Now, if you prefer to run 4-piece, you absolutely can. The difference in output between 2-piece and 4-piece is pretty small, but for 4-piece, the setup looks like this. We're going to be using tier helmet, tier shoulders, tier gloves, and tier legs, paired with a crafted chest piece. If you don't want to craft your chest piece and you want to get that transmog, you can just buy the vendor piece with high versatility, low mastery. Personally, I stick with 2-piece because it gives me the perfect stat spread with maximum mastery. But again, if you want to run 4-piece, it's completely viable. Just know that it's more of a personal choice rather than a strict requirement. Personally, I think that 2-piece optimizes the stats more and increases your healing more. One really important thing to note is that if you don't want to go all in on crafting, you can just buy the vendor pieces that already come with mastery and versatility. That's a pretty solid baseline. I always recommend crafting any piece of gear that does not have versatility and mastery straight from the vendor. If you didn't know, you can craft every single slot of gear. All you need are gladiator heraldries, Algari Missive of the Harmonious for mastery and versatility stat guaranteed on the piece of crafted gear, and the materials required for that gear slot. The gear is always going to be named Algari in whatever the name of the armor type is in the slot. The material rank does not matter, as PvP eye level is not affected by the rank of the gear. So whether or not you craft this item at rank 1 or rank 5, it's always going to be 723 eye level in rated PvP. But here's the catch. Crafted gear always has more mastery than vendor gear. Vendor gear always has high versatility and low mastery. And when you craft a piece of gear, it equals the stats. So every single slot of gear that you craft has the same amount of stat that you put on it. right? And since Holy Paladin in PvP, this expansion relies heavily on mastery, you'll always get more value out of crafting as far as throughput healing wise. So the rule of thumb is simple. Craft every single piece of gear that doesn't come from your tier set that you're using. Don't craft trinkets and don't craft cloak. Use the vendor mastery gear as placeholders if you want, but upgrade it to craft it as soon as possible. This way you'll end up with the maximum amount of mastery across your entire setup, which is one of the single biggest factors in optimizing Holy Paladin performance and healing throughput in Season 3. Once you've earned 2,500 conquest during the active season, you'll automatically get 2 free tokens mailed to you. These are huge because you can use them right away to pick up your main hand and your offhand shield. Now, the important thing here is efficiency, right? These free tokens save you a ton of conquest early on and let you lock in your most important weapon slots immediately. Now, if you're planning on crafting your weapon and shield, you can opt to buy the red hand two-handed weapon with your free tokens. Keep in mind, you don't want to do this early season when it's like week 3 or 4 when you're just gearing out. You still want to buy your weapon and shield at the beginning because you don't want to waste conquest at the beginning of the season crafting your weapons. You want to craft these later once conquest becomes uncapped. Our final optimized gear setup for Holy Paladin Season 3 looks like this. For tier pieces, we're going to have tier helmets. We're going to have legs only. Our cloak is going to be rescue wraps with the epic pure energizing fiber, which is the mastery fiber. Remember, you can easily craft this through a public order. If you don't know, there are 2 different fibers. One is blue, one is epic. The epic one is going to give you more stats. For crafted gear, you're going to craft shoulders, gloves, belt, necklace, and both rings. Both of your rings are going to have the embellishment called Energy Redistribution Beacon. These are non-negotiable. The mastery you gain over the vendor versions of rings and necklace is absolutely massive. Your embellishment is going to give you a chance for your direct healing to also redistribute 2% of your total health to your target while you're above 80% health. And this actually does quite a bit of healing over the course of a long game, so it's our best in slot. The weapon and shield upgrade over the vendor version is very small crafting them, so crafting these is very optional, but it is best in slot if you want to fully min-max your stats. For our boots, we're going to buy the vendor boots and catalyze them. Any boots, just catalyze them. This gives you way more mastery than the crafted version. If you'd rather not burn a catalyst charge, just craft the PvP boots with mastery and versatility. For our bracers, we're going to craft engineering Algari competitors plate bracers with mastery only stat. This can be worn even without the engineering profession. They require an impeccable cogwheel to set them to pure mastery only. For trinkets, we're going to use Alacrity and the on-use PvP trinket. And the golden rule is craft every single piece of gear with mastery and versatility except your bracers, which should be pure mastery. As far as trinkets go, your default setup will almost always be Alacrity paired with the on-use PvP trinket. You never swap out the on-use PvP trinket. This combo gives you the best balance of sustained healing and burst potential when needed. However, there are certain matchups where you're just getting trained the entire game and you can't seem to survive no matter what. In those cases, you're going to swap out your Alacrity for the Astral Gladiator's emblem, aka Battlemaster's trinket. The on-use health boost for 15 seconds can be the difference between dying in a stun or living long enough to stabilize until your next cooldown comes out. So the rule here is very simple. Alacrity plus on-use for most games, and Battlemasters plus on-use whenever you need that extra survivability. As far as enchants on Cloak, we'll be using Chant of Leeching Fangs. On Chest, we'll be using Council's Intellect. Wrists, Chant of Armored Speed. Legs, Daybreak Spelter, which is the mana one. Boots, Scout's Mastery. And weapon will be Stonebound Artistry. Gems are very simple. You're going to have one Cognitive Bloodstone, aka Precog, in one slot. And every single other slot that you have will be a versatile Onyx. Make sure that all of your enchants and gems are rank 3. If you're just starting to gear your Holy Paladin, here's the best way to approach it. Start with Honor Gear right away. Focus on picking up pieces that already have mastery and versatility. For the slots that don't, grab the Crit First or Haste First variant. Honor Gear isn't super critical since our goal is just to optimize Conquest Gear in the long run. If you want to be extra precise, you can also craft Honor Gear instead of buying it from the vendor. Use the Astral Aspirant's Heraldry to craft Honor PvP gear at 710 eye level and add mastery and versatility stats to it the same way I explained it before with the Missive of the Harmonious. That way you'll be perfectly optimized even in the early stages. Remember, you can also buy Algari gear straight from the auction house at 697 eye level. Note that the tooltip is currently bugged showing 606 eye level, but it's actually 697 eye level. It's a good starting point for alts. This gear can also be crafted with whatever stats you want if you find the profession to craft it for you. When it comes to Bloody Coin gear, this is extremely valuable at the very start of the season when gear is limited. I recommend always buying bracers first. You won't really replace these until Conquest uncaps each season. After that, look at off pieces like chest, gloves, belt, boots, even shield, just because it's so cheap. The general rule of thumb with Bloody Coin is to buy direct upgrades you don't plan on purchasing Conquest pieces for in that slot anytime soon. Now, sometimes you might want to buy a shield, but sometimes you don't. You kind of want to try to avoid spending Bloody Coins on tier slots that you plan to use later, right? So in this case, we would not buy Bloody Coin helmet or legs because we're going to buy Conquest to catalyze those into 2-piece for Herald of the Sun. Don't buy weapon for sure. That is it. You never buy weapons with these. That's a waste because once you hit 2500 Conquest around week 3, you get free weapon and shield tokens mailed to you automatically. General rule of thumb, just don't buy weapon or shield, but if you have nothing else to spend them on, just buy direct upgrades. And that wraps up my complete gearing guide for Holy Paladin in the War Within Season 3. With this setup, you'll be fully optimized for Solo Shuffle, 3v3 Arena, and Blitz, whether you're running Herald of the Sun or even Lightsmith. If this video helped you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and motivates me to just keep pumping out more rank 1 guides for you guys. Don't forget to check the description for my full Holy Paladin talent guide and PvP gameplay breakdowns. I keep these updated every single pass, so you always have the latest information available to you. And as always, come hang out in my Discord for talent imports, week orders, and updates, and catch me live at twitch.tv/KillaKTV, where I'll be streaming daily. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.